Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. I'm delighted to have you join us today. I want to have a conversation with you more on a one-on-one basis. As you can see today, I'm a little dressed down. No bow tie, no sports coat. Just a conversation one-on-one to approach the new year and moving forward in a different direction, because it is my ultimate goal to have you accomplish and achieve the results you want. Couple housekeeping notes. Number one, put away your wallet. I'm not here to sell you anything. Just put away your wallet. Open up your mind. Realize that today's conversation is not investing advice. And as any YouTuber, what do we always say? Click the subscribe button, click the bell. If you don't click the bell, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be notified when we release our next interview. We cover about 2 to 3 interviews per week, and you definitely want to stay on top of our interviews because we share a number of value propositions that will merit your attention. And also below this interview, and all of our interviews, of course, there's a comment section. We welcome your feedback, good and or bad. Now, here's what I want to share with you. In my experience as a licensed representative for Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments, and as just someone who buys precious metals personally, I have encountered 3 groups of people, and you may be able to identify yourself in one of these 3 groups. But one of them distinguishes themselves from the pack, from the wheat from the chaff, if you will. And I'm going to begin with the one that has the least success in buying and selling physical precious metals. This is an individual. I'm going to call him group number 1. This group here is they follow the trend, whatever it is, if it's fashion, sports, and when it comes to investing, their financial IQ is very low usually, and whatever the trend is, that's what the keywords are. They can repeat those, but their foundation is null and void. It's almost as if they built their home on a sand foundation. It's not on solid ground. So when the tide comes in and it goes back out, off they go. And they have no understanding of what physical precious metals really represents. It represents money. It also represents the most trusted financial instrument throughout human history, period. However, because their foundation is so weak, they view their currency as the trusted financial instrument, and it is a big flaw in their philosophy. They're the type of person, if you shared with them, hey, here's a 2-minute video or 5-minute video regarding the merits of owning physical precious metals and monetary history, watch this video, or you share with them to read something, they'll nod their head and say, sure, but they won't do it. So here's what happens. They follow the trend, and the trend is saying, let's go back a year ago with the Reddit situation where silver was supposed to go through the roof, and it didn't. So here's what they do. They buy because everyone else is buying because that's what they're talking about. Now the price goes down. As soon as the price goes down, guess what they do? They hit the eject button. They're out of there. They have fast hands. They also have what are known on our side as weak hands. This is the group that has the least amount of success because, again, the foundation is flawed. All right? You don't want to be in this group. And they're also the same individual, this group, they would never watch this interview. Never, ever, ever. Why? Because they don't want to learn. They just want quick answers. I know these individuals personally and or professionally. So I'm sure you can identify with them yourself. Now we're going to go to group 2. Group 2 is probably the majority. In group 2, they understand what physical precious metals in particular, they like one metal, silver. They understand the merits of silver, monetary history, and they're always watching videos. But they tend to watch the videos that I would consider or as known as being clickbait. A well-known entity is being interviewed by someone like one of my peers, and the thumbnail image is catchy because it shows that individual. It might show some flames or whatever, and there's always a price prediction usually on one of these programs. But the narrative is critical here. They follow narratives such as manipulation, naked short sales, COMEX deliveries, and not to say that any of that content or context is incorrect. But this is where the majority of the individuals that buy physical precious metals, this is where they are in this category. And the challenge they have or one of the challenges they have, is they're always watching their phone on the spot price. The spot price determines their day. How do I know? Because I was in that group. Okay. My wife can tell you all about it, because the thesis made sense. I'm listening to all these respected names, and the price should be here because the above ground silver is here, and everything made sense except for the price. And so the lifespan of this group here, they probably make up 90 or 80% of the precious metals investors. This group has about a 3 to 5 year life cycle, and then they're out. They're worn out. They don't believe in it anymore. Because again, same token here, some of that foundation is not built on good footing. Now we're going to go to the group that I now subscribe to, and it is the uber successful. And I mean they're uber successful because their foundation is completely different. The word, the philosophies, everything's different that they believe in. So group number 3, the first thing that they realize is that physical precious metals, in particular gold and silver, are money, and that they hold physical precious metals as financial insurance, as a savings account. They don't have their savings account in a bank with currency. They have their savings in physical precious metals outside of the banking industry. Let me say that again. It's very important to understand. They may have a checking account, but they don't have a savings account. They take the currency that was in the savings account and buy physical precious metals, and they may have some currency on the side. Don't get me wrong, but it's not in the system per se. And one of the reasons, again, is because if you're not in the banking system, one of the beauties of owning physical precious metals is that it is analog. It cannot be hacked. Okay? Number of virtues here. And remember, it is the most trusted financial instrument in all of mankind. Physical precious metals. So this is the foundation. And I'll add to that. I, as a father, a husband, I look at myself as being a financial steward for my family. And I have an obligation to make sure that they never suffer, no matter what the consequences are, no matter what the situation is in society, depression or recession, it doesn't matter. I need to make sure that they're never hungry and that they're always taken care of. But I go above and beyond that. I want to make sure it's my children's children's children. That's how far I want to go. And that's also the psychology that you see right here in group number 3. So it's a longer term perspective, and we don't want to use our physical precious metals because, again, it's insurance. If you having to use your insurance, that means something went wrong and you don't ever want to use your insurance. But you want to take advantage of the opportunity that that the metals present themselves to. So if we go back to group number 2, one of the key words they look for is manipulation for the videos they watch. And it angers them because the price in their view is suppressed. Group number 3, we view it as if the price is suppressed, great, we're going to go buy more. Same scenario, different outlook and different results, and I'll share with you how. So the foundation is first built on owning physical precious metals. Why we own it. There's an understanding of monetary history that all currencies go to a value of 0, but precious metals have never gone to a value of 0. We view our precious metals as in weight, not a currency denomination. We all want to buy precious metals at the lowest price, don't get me wrong, but we don't view our precious metals based on a fiat currency denomination. It is based on ounces in weight. Okay, now here's the philosophy in group number 3. Write this down. So the first thing we do is we look at where is the sale. So should I be in the stock market or should I be in precious metals? Let's find out the answer. You take the Dow and you divide it by the price of gold. If the answer is 5 or below, you should be in the Dow and or general equities stock market, okay? And coincidentally, real estate follows the stock market. So if you notice that real estate is at an all-time high, and so is the Dow basically. So they follow one another. Now, gold and or precious metals are just the opposite basically throughout history. So if you take the Dow and divide it by the price of gold, the answer today is 20. That means that gold is on fire sale relative to being in the stock market and relative to being in real estate. Now, within that context, there are 5 precious metals, and we offer them right here through Miles Franklin. They are gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and rhodium. Of these 5, or the other 4, I'm sorry, which one of those are on sale? And it's easy to identify. Let's take a look at the gold-silver ratio. If you take the price of gold and divide it by the price of silver, over the past 150 years, that ratio has been about a 1 to 42, meaning for 1 ounce of gold, you would own 42 ounces of silver. That ratio today is 80. So now we know that gold is on sale relative to the Dow, and it's on a big sale, big discount. But silver is on a bigger discount relative than gold. Now we look at my favorite metal, platinum. Platinum historically trades at a premium, meaning above the price of gold. It's been as high as 3-fold the price of gold. Today, 1 ounce of gold and 1 ounce of platinum. If you take those numbers, you're going to get, if you own 1 ounce of platinum, you're going to own 0.6 of an ounce of gold. Again, remember, platinum is usually higher than the price of gold. It's now trading at 60% of the price of gold. So again, I know that platinum and silver are on sale relative to gold. Palladium is at a higher price than gold. It never is. Therefore, it's very simple. That ratio means that palladium is not on sale relative to gold. That ratio is usually at about a 25% ratio, meaning palladium should be about the fourth of the price of gold. And then rhodium. Rhodium right now is 8 times higher than the price of gold. It does not trade usually in that range. It's usually lower. So when it's usually equal to the price of gold, that's when I'm looking to buy rhodium. And let me give you an example. So the perspective here, again, in category 3, is that we're looking at all the metals and we're identifying what's on sale, and we're not complaining if there is a sale. Okay? Because this is our savings and our financial insurance, and we base it on ounces in weight, not a currency denomination. If you notice on all those ratios, I never provided a number. It was relative to one another using those numbers, those ratios that I provided. So 4 years ago, or going on 5 years now, 2017 July, I'm at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium. And I was asked, what am I buying? And I said, silver, platinum, and rhodium. And rhodium was basically below the price of gold. 1 ounce of rhodium was basically $900, $890. You fast forward to March of 2021. 1 ounce of rhodium went from $890 to $29,000. Say it again, not $2,900. It went to $29,000. But if you're in category number 2 and you only focus on one metal, then you're not even aware that rhodium is something that you can actually own, again, through Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments. And you missed out on the opportunity because all those channels that you watched, they don't sell rhodium, and they're ignorant on the value proposition of the platinum group elements. Again, platinum, palladium, and rhodium. They only cover really gold and silver. Proven and probable, we cover all 5. Okay, and again, now here is something that is paramount to understand. Once that price went parabolic for rhodium, what does group number 3 do? They trade in that ounce of rhodium for hundreds of ounces of silver, whatever's on sale. And during this conversation, what's on sale is silver and ounces of platinum. Now that savings account, that financial insurance based on ounces is getting heavier and heavier. And that's the power of the ratios, and also realizing that there's more than one physical precious metal. I believe that if you use these ratios to your advantage, you will sleep much better at night because you're not watching the spot price every day. And it becomes so much easier to understand what's on sale. And again, I do not bring individuals onto my program to share with you that metal A is going to price A, only to share what those ratios are, what they represent, and the best value proposition. We at Proven and Probable have a proven pedigree of success, If you're not a client, I welcome the opportunity for you to have a conversation with me to earn your business. And if you are a client, you already know what to do. Give me a call for your next purchase. Now, let's talk about your next purchase. If you're not aware, there is no minimum to purchase physical precious metals. But I would remind you that when you do purchase precious metals with us, that there's a $15 shipping charge, unless you're purchasing a silver monster box, okay? So with being and let me step back as well. Let me put on my hat and also share with you about this name right here above me here. Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments. I'm so honored and so proud to be affiliated as a licensed representative, because Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments is the only company that is licensed and bonded as an online dealer. There's no other company. Any online dealer can have any logo they want of anything they want, but they're not licensed and they're not bonded. And let me break down what that really means for you. Being licensed means that I have to have continuing education courses, and also I have a criminal and a credit background check conducted on myself and all of my peers that work for Miles Franklin to make sure that we hold ourselves to the highest standard. If I work for a different online peer to sell physical precious metals, because they're not licensed, I may do illegal activity, and if I don't report it to my boss, which most likely if you're doing something illegal you wouldn't, because you would be terminated, how would my boss know? So if I'm in a financial duress, or I'm again doing illegal activity, you wouldn't want to do business with someone like that. And so I encourage you to understand the importance of being licensed, but being bonded is the other part. Miles Franklin is domiciled in the state of Minnesota. In the state of Minnesota, if you make a purchase with Miles Franklin, that order is guaranteed, even if Miles Franklin were to default. But our history is over 30 years of professional, top-notch customer service. We have never had a single customer complaint, over $6 billion in sales. You can't beat that. That is a proven pedigree of success. If you have a 401k and you left your employer, look above me here. I'm sorry. We have New Direction Trust, and all this is, again, this is my website here, provenandprobable.com. But New Direction Trust, if you're looking to take that 401k, move it to a precious metal IRA, there's the link for you. All the frequently asked questions. The process takes about a month. And if you own physical precious metals now and you don't feel comfortable having them in your home, there's the link right there, Brinks. All right, Brinks, the name, the preeminent name for safety and security. We can have your metals stored at Brinks in Miami, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, New York City, Montreal, and Vancouver. All you have to do is give me a call at 855-505-1900. That's 855-505-1900. Or you may email Maurice at milesfranklin.com. That's Maurice at milesfranklin.com. And remember, our website, provenandprobable.com, subscription is free, so you can't beat the price. We do 2 to 3 interviews per week, and if you found today's interview of value, I encourage you, share it with your family and friends, review it again, and I can almost I can't say the word guarantee, but I would feel very confident that you're going to see a difference in the results of your portfolio. You've put in the time, you've put in the effort. I want you to have the results that you deserve. Till next time, this is Maurice Jackson, wishing you the absolute best.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.